possibility. Responsibility is power. So if I say, okay, I am responsible for something, now what it means to me is I have the power over something, right? So
cool. So Night Ignition podcast, right? This is us who will be tonight sharing and debating about what is, or how we see responsibility, which is like it's I think we don't talk enough about responsibility, but let's hit it. Always the same thing. Let's see what the dictionary says. So the dictionary says that responsibility is the state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or of having control over someone. A true leader takes responsibility for their team and helps them achieve goals. And another definition is the state of or fact of being accountable or to blame for something. I don't know. All right, cool. What did you ladies like, hearing this, saying this, what the dictionary says? It's like, how do you see responsibility?
Yeah, I can say that when you say responsibility, for me it comes up, oh shit, like when we know or somebody says to us, yeah, you should take the responsibility, we really don't feel good. It's not like, yeah, here comes responsibility. We always connect it to something hard, something. If I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna be bad, I'm not gonna be good enough. And so for me, responsibility is something that's really heavy, like sometimes, like not maybe not now, but like not long ago, it was like a burden.
Exactly. Right. It's like it's very significant, right? Being responsible, is something that adults do, right? So, and it's like it's kind of only for adult people. And it's significant and it's heavy. So life is fun before you become responsible. Then it's like, shitty until you die, more or less. I don't know. Just but yeah, got it.
cool.
For the rest of you guys.
Yeah, I also sorry, Emma. I also think it's a pretty heavy word, and even maybe for my generation, I'm a bit younger. I think it goes hand in hand with procrastination, so I don't want to do it. But how I see it now is that taking full responsibility. There's no one else to blame if you don't do something, if you don't achieve it. There's only you at the end of the line. So you gotta clear your mind and talk to yourself about it.
All right, true. Got that. And you said you're a younger generation, so now you kind of have to share it, right? How old are you?
22.
Now you're very interested.
22. Right. So you're the same age as Emma, So we have this young generation here, But Emma is an old soul, so it's like having like a grandma here, so
wearing only like these woolen sweaters now.
It looks like a sweater that she made, in her free time, watching how the plants grow. She's like doing the needling.
Yeah.
But it's good to have young generation. So, all the jokes aside, Eva, what is responsibility like? What does it represent for you?
Yeah, I can really put myself on board with what you two guys already shared, because for me it really used to be like that, like a heavy topic, if I say like that, and it also produced some kind of guilt, something I had to do, and then if I didn't do it, oh my god, I don't know, I was bad or incapable or whatever, but like this, something's wrong with me. And then I actually like trained myself through some programs and stuff, but like really trained to get to point where responsibility is power. So if I say, okay, I am responsible for something, now what it means to me is I have the power over something, right? So, and I will say a little bit more later about that. I don't want to now take the whole piece of that, but really, I'm really glad I gained this, because it's so much easier to go through life when you don't look at responsibility with this crippling anxiety and everything. So yeah.
Got it. Yeah, by the way, Assassino, Mr. JP, Mike Wood, hello. Good to have you guys here. So, yeah. So, for me, responsibility is like, I can totally agree with what you guys, right? It's like something heavy, significant. It's, something for adults. And, I don't like to be an adult in that way. So, and also being on the lazy side, it's like, it's not something that, lazy people take responsibility for, right? But it is because I used to really, connect it with blame, like, so if you're responsible for something, you are to be blamed for something. Okay, Mr. JP said, I hear others better than Mr. JP. Is for you guys the same? All right. Is it better now? Yeah, should be better. I think should be better. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's like, it's if somebody is responsible for something, he's to blame for that, right? And nobody likes the blame, right? That's like the really heavy, significant side. Like, so I think that, it's a good start. We all see, right? Responsibility, like hell no, right? And what is our job? Like, let's say it like that. What is our intention here tonight is actually, present it, through our examples, how responsibility can actually be fun, and the place of power and freedom, in life, instead of place of heavy, significant, and, burden, like Ula said perfectly, and the guilt, like, they're blame, guilty for everything, right? It's just like that. All right, cool. So, I'll just, who would like to go first?
Well, I can start again.
All right, it's that circle, right? So it's Ula, Onja, so then we have an order, so everything goes smooth. So we are responsible for the sharing. All right.
So, as I said, before, I saw it as a burden. It was something I really didn't like, like, like you said, when you grow up, you start being responsible, and it's so boring, and oh my God, no more fun. I want to be a Peter Pan, and so on. So, if I look from perspective of my business, some of you guys already know I'm also having my business as a network business, so like MLM. And when I didn't take responsibility for everything, like, it's my business, I should take the whole responsibility. It was like, oh, it's the market, it's the product, it's the service, the products didn't arrive at the specific time. It is the client, she's stupid, she's blah blah blah. It's my downline, they are not doing the work that they're supposed to be doing, or whatever. It was always something, even the things that it looks logical, they are not my responsibility. But now that I take like the full responsibility for everything, okay, the product is not here yet. It's not my fault that it's not here, but what I can do with it, the easiest way is to blame the company. Oh, fuck that shit, now everything's wrong, now my business is not gonna go the way I wanted it to go. But no, I don't blame anyone. I just take the responsibility, and I create the possibilities inside that. Okay, this happened. How can I turn this around, or just do something at it and make it work? So that's the full responsibility for me. So whatever happens, it happens. It's okay. I just take it and do the best I can with it. there is always something positive about it, always, even if it seems impossible. So that's how I see responsibility now. It's really fun. It's really cool because now I control my business. I can play with it. It's like like a game. I have the codes, to put it in. I don't do gaming, but I know about that.
No, you can be a cheater or a hacker now. We got that, yeah, right?
Yeah, sure. No, don't say that. So it's like that, I can play this game much easier because I'm responsible for everything. And I really, if there is someone who's having their own business, just take the responsibility for everything. Don't blame others or yourself. Just look at it and say, okay, that happens. It is so. That's how it is. But man, what I can do with that now.
Right. Can you give us an example, like how you used to deal with one case, and then when you put in the responsibility, how you're dealing with now?
One was that I said that the product was not delivered on time. But we can look at something else, like I don't know. Let's say there was my downline should do certain amount of volume points, and they didn't do it, and now everything I was planning is going to hell. Okay, so I could blame them and not take responsibility for my business, or I can just say, okay, they didn't do it. Why they didn't do it? What did I do that they didn't do it? And what I can transform, in myself, in my behavior, in my leadership, that this thing will work. And I can make it like a lot of fun. Okay, let's play with that. Let's try to, to shift it to that side. Oh, this is working, or oh, this is not working. No problem. Let's shift it to the other side. So I'm just saying that when it's so logical that we can blame our downline or people in our business, or the company or whoever, but when we take the full responsibility, and just take the situation as it is, no blaming, just options, like our business will grow and we will have fun.
Yeah, that is a cool and on point for all the businesses, right? And it's simple. You can go around and blame everybody else, or you can say, like, and it's not like, I want to expose it, it's not like you're responsible, like you said, right, that something will be delivered on time. But if it's not delivered, how you deal with that, right? And that was perfectly what you said. You don't go out and blame the postman or the company sending it, but you're like, all right, cool, it didn't, what can I do about it now? So at least you can contact the customer and say, hey, it comes to a delay, I want to let you know, I'm really sorry, so we're looking how to blah blah blah, and sort it out. And that is like what makes the difference, I think. And it's just great what you also shared, like it doesn't even matter that it's MLM, right? In any business, like if you're working in a factory and you're responsible for 20 people, right? It's like that's your downline in MLM, so to speak, anyway, right? So if they don't do what needs to be done, it's like you can go and blame them or blame the bosses up or everything, the circumstances, or you can say, all right, what can I do about it, right? And that's just perfect. You want to say something else?
Yeah, I just want to say that whatever you focus on, you're gonna go that way, Like if you're in a raft on water and you're going down the stream and you see the rock, and you're like, oh my god, the rock, avoid the rock, avoid the rock, you see the rock, avoid that rock. Yeah, you're gonna go straight to the rock, or if you say, okay, let's go this way, and we're gonna go left and then right, and and you're gonna go that way, and whatever you focus on, it's gonna happen.
Could say it better.
Seriously?
Could say it better. I think we can end up here. It's like that's how responsibility is in life. That's it, guys. It's like, No, yeah, but let's look some other areas, like how it can make a difference. So, Emma, Onja would like to go next.
I thought we chose the
Oh yeah,
order.
the same. Yeah, we see, I just lost it. I just lost it. Damn it, man. You know, I will
Damn
no
it.
longer be a host.
Go on.
Go on. Okay. Yeah, I think that me not taking responsibility came from my fear and low self-esteem. Because, like, in my mind, it was okay. I'm gonna go for something and I'm gonna fail, and it's gonna be horrible. Everything's gonna go to, tip.
Mhm.
And I think it came from my dad's a loving parent. They both are, but he was there for me to take care of everything. Like, even call the doctor. Even when I was 18, he was like, "No, I can do an appointment for you, no problem." But like, I had a dream that when I finish high school, I'm gonna move to Ljubljana. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna have my own apartment. But at the same time, I wasn't able to like do a doctor appointment on my own. And I didn't connect the fact that when I was not doing something, it did not just affect me and my future, it also had an effect on Ula. She was living with me at the time, and on my parents, because I didn't get a job because I was scared. I didn't take responsibility for not getting a job, and they had to cover for me. They had to, when I moved to Ljubljana, for the first half a year, they had to come in and like, okay, here you have 300 euros, pay the bills. When I got that, because at first, like you said, taking responsibility, it's also always connected to guilt. At first, I only felt that because I failed and I didn't take the responsibility, and I was sad. I felt guilt, and I was sad because they were angry with me, but I didn't connect it to like being good for my future, to doing something for myself. And when I got that, I actually, after half a year, I started to get on my own feet, started to paying the bills, and now I have my own apartment. I live with my girlfriend, and I'm disconnected to my parents. I love them, but they don't have to be there for me anymore. And this is the most, I don't know, it's like to be born again when you get that feeling. So if anyone's at the point that they are scared or they think they cannot do it, I get a job, anything, you can. You just have, you will fail like anyway in life. You fail tomorrow or you fail after a year. Just do it now.
Yeah, I mean, great what you shared. And to be honest, it's your first time. We got all of that, and it's great what you said, right? You shared before that you're nervous and stuff like that. Are you still nervous?
A bit, but it's fine.
Yeah, all right, cool, right? But look, it's good to say that out. That is also taking responsibility, right? So in a way of, when something is stuck in your head, I'm nervous, I have to be careful, what do I say? And then when you say it out loud, it's like, I'm nervous and I have to be careful what I say. Then you just suddenly realize, yeah, okay, but I know how to talk. So, what am I nervous about, right? Right? It just go poof. It's like a bubble. It's like, yeah. But it's great. So, I'm interested in what actually was that point, like, what was the trigger? Because we know that change or transformation, or however you want to call it, it happens in a moment, but there is a process that like usually takes, right? So maybe what was that moment for you that is like, it usually doesn't take much. That means like 2 seconds when you realize something, you're like, oh, all right, cool, and then you go into action. So maybe what was the moment for you?
I think it was just adding up for a half a year or a whole year of Ula like asking me, begging me to do something, to do it on my own. Like, honestly, I cannot remember a specific moment when it flipped, but I think it just came to the rim, to the top of me, like from my parents, from Ula, and from everything, the pressure I felt at the time, but it was not, they were not pressuring me, they just wanted to help me. So I think it just had to, I don't know, I had to go through a process of,
well, maybe when I left you alone in the apartment.
yeah, that was a flipping point. I forgot about that. Yeah,
okay, cool.
we rented an apartment together, and Ula left like 2 months, a month, and I was like, okay, I cannot afford this apartment. I have to find another one, and I will have to pay for it on my own. Like, she was not there and even paying for half. So maybe that was it. Yeah, it was super scary, but when I did it, it was. I mean, I'm still here, so.
Yeah, and amazing, right? And that is it. That's how responsibility on the core then looks like, right? Because yeah, I also want to share. It's like, how I saw responsibility was like I would cut the corner, Eva. No, no, no,
So
no,
nice.
no. I won't. You go. Sorry. Nah, you go. You go. No, I said it. I'm gonna stick to it. But what I want to just share here is just an amazing, right? That is also Ula basically taking responsibility for you as well, right? In that moment, she was responsible. Even in the eyes of many people, she might be like, how could you leave your sister alone? La la la, all that blame and guilt on her. Like, you're a bad person, she's incapable, and now like, she's handicapped, but she's not, in that way. So, and it really takes something. So maybe Ula, just for you to share what it take for you, right, to stand for her. Because that was like you taking responsibility for your sister that she moved in her life. And inside of that clearing, actually, right, who you were, she was able to do that. Because if you would be all the time thinking she can't do it, she cannot do it, she cannot do it, she's, incapable, she's, not good enough to do it, she probably, you would be still living together. So yeah.
Yeah, it was actually, to be honest, I was always believing in her. Like, I think I was your number one fan, always your believer. Because as she said, my mom and dad, they were really like, oh, she cannot do that and blah blah blah. And I was like, no, she can do that. What the fuck is that, And when she was 15, dad said, oh no, she cannot go on the train to Ljubljana. She will get lost, from Škofja Loka. Okay, it's like 2 kilometers. And I said, you know what, Dad, that's enough. She needs to do that. She's 15. I'm not gonna let that happen again, because that's not anywhere. He was so mad at me. I don't know. I think you were happy actually that time.
I went. I got half lost, but
yeah, but you learned. And then with the apartment, it was really bad because she was angry at me at that time, because she felt like, oh, you left me, la la la, But I saw that I need to do something, because dad was not ready. He would, still take care of her. Even today, he would still take care of you if you would allow him. But I was like, no, I need to do something. I really love her from the bottom of my heart. And like, I would give her money every time she needed, but I saw that this is not good for her, because I was there for her, and just, I was like a bank account, and she didn't need to take responsibility for herself and for the, the money, where she puts the money and so on. So it was hard for me, but I knew that's the right decision, and it was made from love. Sometimes, hard love is what we need,
Yeah, and from my point of view, it's irresponsible to call it hard love, because love is just love, and it comes in. Yeah, but I got that right. I got it, but it is like putting adjective on a word love, like something, I mean, so pure and genuine that the its pureness is just like doing it unfair to it. But yeah, and that is it, right? That is how being responsible also looks like on the, even though many people would say, dad was responsible when he was taking care of her daughter, doing things, so yeah, cool. Thank you, the red and black corner.
Yeah, can I just add one
power.
little thing?
No, you can. Of course you can. Come on.
It was a rhetorical question.
All right. Cool.
I really believe in her, and I see greatness in her, and I know what she's capable of. I don't know, because I think you're capable more than I can see now, and I'm pushing her to do one big project, because she's really good at making cakes, vegan cakes, and there's a project out there in Ljubljana, and I'm making her. I want her to sign up So just put it out here so
Yeah. All right.
but no
That's
pressure.
That's it. I mean, Onja, it's like this, Either you sign up or just leave the podcast. It's just that easy.
Oh, yeah, it came out like that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's your dream.
Yeah, but it's like, why not? That's also being responsible for what you are passionate about. It's just like maybe look at it this way, and then everybody who is passionate about something and not really going for it, sharing with the people, that's being irresponsible to the rest of the people in your life or in your community. Because if you're good at something and you're not sharing that with the world, you're just being egoistic, It's just like, what the fudge are you doing, right? You're baking amazing cakes. There is, a lot of people who would love to eat vegan cakes, and they can. I mean, they can, but, I remember me and Usha one times were searching for vegan cakes in Ljubljana, and we called Ula then. Ula, where do they have? Because everything was closed on some day. And then if you would have a bakery or something at that point, you would earn easy money. It would be just like that, just like
Oh
that.
my God.
Because Ula would said, my sister, go to her. She has like the whole fridge of it, Yeah, so Onja is like, you want
Gotta
to,
sign.
yeah,
Commitment.
Nah, you don't have. It's like it's your choice in the end, anyway. You got the point. Yeah.
My responsibility.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go to the brown corner. Up there smiling.
Away from the sweets, yeah, and sugary foods.
Yeah, let's go into the
Okay, I
real
want
dark
to.
topic now. The dark topic of
Yeah.
responsibility.
Oh no.
I'm joking.
No. I want to talk about relationships. There's the area where I had my big breakthrough. Is actually relationship with my dad, and I've discovered. Okay. Let me say it like that. So it will be best, I think, on example of it. So when I was 12 years old, something happened, and I don't want to go right now into it, what happened, but in that moment, I made the decision that my dad is, or let me say like that I am annoyed and angry with my dad. From something that he made when I was 12, okay? And I used to live my life on that decision, and I was constantly annoyed and angry with him. It's like I kind of put like a pair of glasses, and I saw him through that. So I would come home, and then he would come home, and we would already be in an argument, right? It was like, it took like a second or even less to get us into argument, because I was into that it's his fault, it's his responsibility, to have a good relationship with me, and I kind of put myself on the passive side of it. So I took myself out of the responsibility and was just there judging and, like, oh no, he's the one that's arguing with me. And we all know that the argument, you need two people for that to work. So, I mean, for that not to work, if I say like that. But, yeah, and so as I said, I went through some courses, and we already talked about them here on the podcast. And I discovered how irresponsible I was in that relationship regarding, putting it all, as we said before, blame everything on him, and I was like, okay, shit, it's my 100, I can take 100% responsibility for being a good daughter, if I say like that, or like to create a functioning, workable relationship with my dad.
Well, I
And
mean, Emma,
that
sorry,
was kind
sorry
of
to interrupt you. Well, can you just mute yourself because it's echoing on your side? Thank you. It will be much clearer. Yeah, cool.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, and I've discovered that for myself. I can take this 100% responsibility. like very similar as Ula was saying before for her business. Same. I find it same with relationships. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to create a loving and like enjoyable and happy relationship with my dad. And suddenly, when I was the one with the cards in my hand, and suddenly I could do pretty much any action I wanted to, and the creativity became possible. And yeah, it all switched around. First I started with apology. So maybe if you guys, if you have someone that you've been really nasty to, and maybe you've been the one starting the fights and arguments or all the bad mood, because I know I was in that. So maybe start with an apology. Uh, and yeah, that was the first and kind of like a hard thing for me to say the apology. But yeah, and out of that, I just started building on it. Just really keep um keep like reminding myself, keep that in the space to be responsible for our relationship, because it's not easy. Sometimes I can still get in argument. He's gonna say something and it's gonna reactivate me, and I'm gonna be suddenly there ready to fight, right? But if I just stop in that moment, and it's also something that I had to train myself to be like really not cautious, but like on my toes to see where I'm getting annoyed, where I'm getting angry, to just like, Ima, no, come on, don't do that. That's your ego, and you just want to be right in that. So yeah, and it took quite some time to train myself to stop do. I mean, as I said, I still can't do that, because sometimes I'm not fast enough, so it still goes in a way. But I want to say all of it really switched around, and I was okay. I am responsible for this relationship, and I am creating love and enjoyment. And now we can bake muffins, and he's gardening with me. Although usually it's like that I'm gardening, because I like he has a little garden and I love to keep it, and he's just there and we're probably talking or doing something. But yeah, but really I enjoy spending time with him now, and yeah, we're not. I mean, we used to like argue every day, and okay, I can say I don't live with him anymore, but still, I was today at his place. So thank you, Dad, for coming to pick me up from work, though. But I really enjoy coffees now with him, and we can talk about stuff, and we can be really trustful with each other. And I don't think that would be possible if I wouldn't take the responsibility for it, because I could be like forever. Like I know some people that hold a grudge and resentment on their like families, ex friends, or even exes for like years, or maybe until deathbed. So yeah, guys, if you have someone like that, just let it go. And I don't know, give love some space. Do something about it. Or you want to be nasty and right and like full of your ego for the rest of your life. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like,
Yeah, I think I was like, but okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share. So.
Yeah, but it is like that, right? It's just that. It's like, it also was like that for Ula and Onja, they shared, right? It's just like, yeah, you can either blame or play small, or you can have a resentment, and all that is viable. It's like, you can survive like that as well. You're not gonna die because of that. There's just like, I always have this question: do you want to survive life, or do you want to live life?
Yeah.
And their responsibility is like, we could say it's like one of the main things that kind of put you on one or the other side, right? So great shares, ladies. I'm like, I was thinking about, should I do the topic that I thought about, or should we ask chat what what they would wanna. So it's like, while I am talking, you guys who are listening, you can write in. It's like, on which area do you want to hear that I took responsibility for in my life, or which area interests you, and maybe, Ula, Onja, or Emma can share with you guys if I didn't yet take responsibility, or that area is not that important to me. So, or it doesn't exist in my life. I don't know. But
Oh,
yeah, we don't know what the chat might come up with, but whoever is watching, shoot the area where it's like maybe where you're struggling in life and you would like to hear an example, like if some of us did have did struggle on that area, but they're not struggle anymore, so this is your chance. And if you admit it, it's like when you admit it that something that you're struggling in one area, that's the first step of becoming the showing you are responsible. What are you two laughing about? It's just like red and black corner, it's just like
having their own fun.
it's like because I have a Batman shirt, you're like thinking about who would win. It's like all the time this is just like he's talking now, we gotta laugh, have some side conversation. All right, cool. Anyway, chat, that stays on. But yeah, I want to share like also from a perspective responsibility how I looked at it for the most of my life was just like it's like what Ula said. Yeah, when you become responsible, life gets heavy and boring. Just like and then later on when I was discovering it and putting thought into it, it was just like responsibility is not that you go out there, have a job, pay the bills, and do this stuff, which basically in some parts of the world kids are doing it, right? So if we are like in Slovenia and I think this side of the world or this part of the world is like you are responsible when you can sustain yourself, right? While in most of the world it's just like the whole family is working to sustain them, from kids to parents. It's just like and we have this privilege that we don't want, and on the other side we have this always looking down on to us while we were growing up. It's just like, yeah, you're a kid, you don't know what responsibility is, you'll see when you will have a job and have to pay the bills and la la la, that and that comes for me. It's just like I was all the time, I'm not gonna be that. I don't want to be responsible. If that's responsible, I don't want that. And then when I put thought into it, I think that it's not really a responsibility, but that's like survival based. Just like if you want to survive, you'll do that. It's just like you need the money to survive, so you will do that. That's how I saw it, right? So it's not that big thing. It's more like I see responsibility more when you are responsible for what flies out of your mouth. So for what actions do you do, right? So it's just like if you go, if you see your mom and she did something and it reactivates you, like you perfectly shared, Emma, and then you start getting annoyed by her, it's like you in that moment you're not being responsible for what comes out of your mouth and what is happening in here, because what happened in reality, the other person just said blah blah blah, and inside in that blah 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 you gave it a meaning to that blah blah blah, right? Even though if they can say Jerne, JP, Jerne, you're not responsible, I could give that a meaning. All right, now they think I'm a bad person and I'm not capable, and I'm like, no, I don't even listen to the exact words, but more to the meaning that I give to it. So in that moment, not being responsible for what flies out and for the thought process that is going in. And once you take that responsibility for that, then you can, like you, Emma, perfectly shared, right? It's just like, and you both ladies, but she nailed it in a relationship. It was like in that moment she cut herself, and and I got that also in a romantic relationship, so I'll share that area. So I couldn't get over my first girlfriend for, I think it was like almost 8 years. Just like I because, and it's not that I couldn't get over her, but it's like when we start dating, I have this idea that my parents were first to each other and they're still together, that I have an idea that, I will have that too. So I was really hooked on that. So what actually was going on when I decipher it, it's nothing has to do with her, but it's all about the idea that I have. And I couldn't let go of that idea. So, and I remember having thoughts over the years like, yeah, but what? Because she said one sentence when we were being together. It was like, even if we split up, in the end, we will be together. And that sentence in my mind hooked me up for like, yeah, right. But in my mind, first one will be your last one. It's like hooked. It was like couldn't let go, right? Until I looked into it through reading some books, discovering it, and then doing the forum really made me realize, right? All right, cool, man. But you're thinking as a 13-year-old. It's like 13-year-old Yerna is running your life. You made up something when you were 13, and it's like you're still living by it when you're 33. Our 30 years, it doesn't really matter, right? Whatever age it is. For me, it was around 29, 30. And it was a shock for me because I thought I got over it after 5, 6 years, but then I keep on, it keep on coming back in. It's just like, all right, if it's keep on coming back in, it's not really complete. And when I took responsibility for it, all right, I don't need to live my life as a 13-year-old who made a decision at the age of 13. Or, what I want to point out is like for everybody, you don't even need to live up your life by a decision that you made 5 seconds ago, because now you can make a new decision. You can declare it newly, whatever you're doing, and I always think of that. It's just like, you can either, and to fast forward it in a relationship now with Ursha, it's just like, I used to be in a relationship like really being judgmental and nasty. Like I was a prick, so to say. I was like really loving, but when she said something that wasn't going with my idea, it was just like all the cannons out and just start doom doom doom. Just we're gonna destroy this thing. That's how I see it now. So and now when Ursha does something, it's like that still pops up. I see, the inner voice still want to go like, but then I'm like, and in most how I train myself is in that moment I tell her I love her rather than I go bash on her fully on and make an argument and stuff like that. I just say I love you, and in that moment that is who I am. So being responsible for your thoughts, then what flies out of your mouth. And what really hooked me in life and responsibility was like when people say, I'm angry because of you. You made me angry. And that is the most hilarious thing. So nowadays, whenever people say to me, you made me angry, I start laughing because to me, that is the most hilarious thing you just said, really. I made you angry. It's like, I have control over you. Are you saying that to me? It's like I'm a puppet master now, I say blah, 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 and you get angry, and then that is suddenly my fault. You're just like, what are you saying, right? No, it's just like, it is hilarious for me when people say that. And even when they go really like, no, you made me angry, you were doing this, that, and, in the reality, you're just saying things that has no meaning. They don't have to have meaning if you don't want to put it to it. And if you put it to it, then it's your responsibility. So yeah, it's just like that is for me. And I can go on and on and on. Maybe one thing I want to share, like that really made how I made a difference for somebody else was I'm doing also one-on-one, like let's say mentorship for young people, for teenagers. And I was having 10 sessions with one girl who was dealing with bulimia. So she was really, and we looked into it, right, when it started. And actually it started when she was also in grammar school. Her PA teacher said to her, that she's fat, she will never climb up the rope. And it was supposed to be in a joke, right? It wasn't this exact word, but it was like in a joke, right, in front of the whole class. And in that moment, she decides that she is fat. Even though if we would see her, she doesn't look fat. She is not fat. She's not even a little, I would say she has a little bit on the sides, None of that. But in her mind, she still, she was living as she is fat. So whatever she eats, she then starts, go and vomit it out. So when she looked at it and she was like, oh, I made that decision when I was 12. And now I'm 17, doesn't really need to affect me. And then I tell her, look, here is the good news and the bad news, right? So the bad news is this thought will probably never go away. Just like, it's imprinted in you. So the good news is that you created it, right? So whatever you created, you can be responsible for and doesn't need to own you. So it's like now, even though she has that thoughts, I talked to her after those sessions. What happened actually, it was on session 6. She had a breakthrough and she started eating normally. She started owning that thought. She became responsible for it. And, it's not, she doesn't have a problem with it anymore. And later on, she shared with me, like I think 1 or 2 years after, she shared with me that she still have that thought, but she doesn't give in. And it's just like, and I think that is with everything, I can still have thoughts like, yeah, with her, with my first, my last. It's just like the brain, it just doesn't let you, because you put it on when you were growing up, and when you repeat something for that many years, it's just like it's not gonna go away in a day, right? So if something is building up for 10 years, probably never go away. But what you can do is what you, Emma, said before, like you catch it, and the faster you catch it, the less it owns you, and then it's just like, that is it. And for me, that is the pure responsibility, when and inside of that, actions happen, just like happened for Onja, for all of us, right? It's just like then action happens, you become responsible, and then you go and do whatever you come up that you see, all right, if I do that, will give me the result that I wanted, right? And that is the next thing, then that you do the action, right? Because we can all like philosoph and debate here what would be good to do, but then in the end, if you don't do it, it will be the same.
Yeah. I would like to say also that from what you said, I kind of just, I don't know, realize it or had an insight or something like that, that when you're responsible, it gives you like a clear mind, because when you're in your, I don't know, with your mess in your life, you just kind of like, it's all is blurry, and as you said, it owns you, so you just kind of go for whatever is there. But when you're responsible, you can like choose. You can clearly be like, okay, I see this option, I see this option, I see this option, and you can be like, I can now, pick whichever I want to, and if I'm already looking a little bit in the future, if I feel like that, you can also create what kind of outcome you want from it, right? Because as if I go like back to my dad or something, I could be, okay, I'm gonna have an argument with him, and the outcome will be that we'll be arguing and I'll have a shitty day. And I can choose at the same time, I will not argue, and I'll be like, oh, listen, I don't want to go into that topic, or I'm not comfortable with that, or I'm sorry I said that. And it's gonna end with, I don't know, a hug, a nice talk, it gives you clearance into what are your options and what actions also you can go in. So yeah.
Yeah, what also popped in my mind is just like, being responsible is also thinking about what you just said, consequences of what you're gonna say or what you're gonna do. So what might be the possible consequence? And here I have another example, like how people don't think about consequence, and nobody teaches that. Just like I was talking about responsibility at one high school, and we were like, I did the theoretical part, and then we looked into examples in their lives. And then there were two friends. You could see they're good friends. And then I said, did your friend ever say to you something that really hurt you, but he doesn't know about it? And then he think about it. And he was like, yeah, one time he said that the sweater that I really loved is bad one because girls won't dig it. Like, girls won't like it. If I'm, and that guy had good intention, right? He had good intention. He was saying to his friend, look, stop wearing that sweater because no girl is going to look at you, right? But he didn't think about how is that gonna leave his friend. And then when I asked his friend, how was that for you? He said, I was really hurt. And the other guy said, oh, I didn't know that. If I would know that, I would never say it. Right? So in that moment, it's just like the whole everybody who was there got in like some sort of revelation, epiphany, whatever, however you want to call it. But it's just that we don't think twice when we say to somebody, somebody says, oh man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this and that. And then the other person, oh, that is lame. And then it's just like, they don't think about the, you just give out somebody say, and that is why passion is basically killed in this world. That is also why I would say love is not present in this world like it could be. It's like we're killing it, like because we have an opinion, right? Or we don't believe in something, so we have to share that with somebody. Oh, I want to be the president of the country. Who are you to be a president? You can't do it. Yeah. You're just like, bro, why didn't you say to the guy, all right, go for it? What you gonna do with it? Oh, you're gonna do this and that. All right, cool. Can I support you? Or if you can say that, at least shut the fuck up, Nobody cares. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say that what you shared, there is not enough love in this world, and I think that's connected with not taking responsibility, because then we blame others because we're not taking responsibility, and when you blame people, you can't love them. And I can also see that from kind of love, sometimes kind of love, it's not love obviously, we kill other people's dream. Like somebody says something like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, let's put it, okay, and they're like, now come on, are you crazy, what are you talking about, you cannot be a millionaire, you're from a poor family, you don't have blah blah blah, and all the good reasons why you can't be a millionaire. But no, like, there is really little people that say, oh man, yeah, do that, I want to see you how you do that, I want you successful, really want you to do that, how can I support you? And that's something I'm trying to do, like, on a daily basis. And sometimes people look at me like I'm crazy, and they say to me like, how can you see that in me? Because even I can't see that in myself, which makes me sad so many times, because I'm like, what happened to you, in your life, that you cannot see what I see? And I really want more people to see greatness in themselves, and to be actually, not being so afraid of taking action towards their dream. That's something I'm really inviting everyone to do that this week, to say something really, really nice to someone, like really believing in them.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm taking it on. And by the way, Ula, we have a challenge for you. I mean, challenge. Karina says, hi, everyone. I have a question for Ula. Can you tell us about changing your body, losing weight? You can just, before discovery, after, you can like short it up.
Yeah. Okay. So if I start, let me start when I was like a teenager. Okay. I started partying like really early, and I started eating all the crap and everything. So, and I stopped playing sport, and I gained like, I don't know, 10, 15 kilos. So, I didn't see myself as being fat, but one day my friend, he said to me, oh, look at your thighs, they are so big. I was like, I was looking at it, I said to him, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, nothing, because he saw that I was like surprised, and I still remember that feeling. After that I was thinking like, shit, am I fat? Oh my god, I'm fat, I didn't know I'm fat. That's how he sees me. Oh, that's horrible, I need to lose weight. And I obsessively started searching for, diets, for ways to lose weight. And I didn't eat that summer. It was a school vacation or whatever that said. And I didn't eat. The whole day I was drinking water, and I was eating, I think, popcorn or something really stupid, because I saw it in a magazine, So yeah, but I lost weight. It was a struggle. I lost weight, and I came back to school, I was like, look at me now, But yeah, it was good. But that's the time when my fucked up mindset about food started. Then I started training really hard. I started competing in kickboxing, and I wasn't eating anymore to enjoy it. I was just eating like a robot, because, oh, this is good for me, for my training, blah blah blah. and I didn't enjoy food. Then I started like really dieting. I didn't eat for a week to get on 50 kilos, like 50. But after that, I would eat everything. Like literally, I would go into the supermarket and I would buy, the big Milka chocolate, and then ice cream, and then I know cookies, and I would eat everything in half an hour. Like I would be super sick, and then I gained like 10 kilos back in 1 week, and that was like a pattern in my life for a long time. When I stopped competing, I didn't need to lose weight anymore, so I didn't starve myself that much, which meant that I gained more and more weight. So I came to like 74 kilos or something like that. I have 160 centimeters, so yeah, that was a lot. I was training still like crazy, like 6 days per week for 3 hours. I didn't eat like in McDonald's or something like that. I just, ate. I love food. Yeah? And then one day I step on that machine. It's called Tanita. You might know it. And it told me that I have 36% of body fat. And that's actually like being obese.
Mm.
And I was like, this machine is not working. That's crap, That can be. I'm training every day, jiu-jitsu. I'm a professional trainer. This is, no, that's not possible. And then I went into a really hardcore dieting, keto diet and so on. And I destroyed my body completely. My hormones were fucked. I'm sorry, but they were fucked. They told me you will never have kids because your hormones are like all over the place. And then I started to look into the real nutrition, not the nutrition to look good, but to actually be healthy. And first I learned about proteins, based on plants, that this is much better for our system, and I changed that because I ate so much meat and dairy products before. So slowly, step by step, I changed my thinking, my mentality. No dieting anymore. I transform myself, my life, my habits, step by step. And today, I love food. I still do. And food loves me, like my sister always said. And I eat like 5, 6, 7 times per day. I look really good. I have, I don't know, 56 kilos or something, whatever. But I look really good and I feel healthy. And I haven't been sick for 3 years now. I've been sick all the time before that. So yeah, it's really not about dieting, and it's really not about changing something or fixing something. It's about slowly transforming your habits, to become a more healthy person, and then you look good and you feel good because you're healthy from the inside. So yeah, that's how it was.
I mean, just awesome. It was like big cheer for you here, and yeah, right. Uh, and that is exactly what we were implying to the whole time. It's just like, you had that thought you were fat, and then how we usually respond. That is what I want to say. How we usually respond is we want to fix it right away, right? Something is wrong with me. So if something is wrong with the car, what do? You go fix it. So just like, and then the whole life we are fixing things. It's just like we're not really shifting. We're not like, inventing something new, but it's always based, okay, last year I said I will lose 5 kilos, so I didn't. And my plan was in 2 years, 10 kilos. So this year I will do it 10. That's, I can do it. I didn't lose it 5 last year, but this year I'm going to lose it 10. I'm going to fix it, right? And then, like you said, what usually happens is all these diets happen, and nobody is really measuring the hormones to get into that. So we don't even, most of the people don't even know what they're actually doing with their bodies, I would say, right? Being on all kinds of diets. So, and whatever works for you guys. I'm not saying you're eating bad or good. It's just like it's good if you go check not just blood but also hormones. I think that is the other thing that it's great, and it's a responsible thing to do it, right? If you think this diet is working for you, then just go check everything if it's really working. And if you see that it's not, then go try something different that will be, because we as human beings can be really fixed on ideas, right? Just like before I stopped eating meat, it was just, for me, it was like, no, I cannot live without meat. That was my fixed idea. I cannot live without it. And then because I'm a guy who likes to challenge things, I read a lot about it, and then I was like, all right, let's see if I eat 2 months no meat, if it will really, I will destroy my body. And I um, leveled up my training from 6 to 8 times per week. So 2 times per week I was training 2 times per day, and it was just like in 2 weeks my regeneration was, I can measure it, it was just like half a day faster. My flexibility was, before I could barely go to toes, then I could just suddenly come to here on the ground, just like whoop. I was like, what? No injuries, playing sports, right? So just like find what's working for you. I'm not saying that's the way, but being responsible is just trying new things and see what's really works for you best. Karina said, amazing, Gula, how you took responsibility. It's inspiring, and thank you for sharing. Right. And that's just,
My
look,
pleasure.
thank you, Karina, for asking that, right? And that is just it. Like, this is this is what responsibility is about. It's not about some heavy duty stuff, right? Like you being called to, let's move a Mount Everest. That's how it usually looks like, putting a backpack on. So, it just looks like that. Something is not working. You said, all right, if I'm 100% responsible for relationship with my dad, or for my business, or for, how people perceive me, how I perceive myself, or, my romantic relationship, the whole spectrum, whatever is important to you. Just like if you took 100% responsibility, what would you do about it? And whatever idea pops on your mind is usually exactly what you need to do. And then you go do it, and then things actually transform. They don't even change. They're not better. It's not like Emma is having a better relationship now, that Ula is having a better business now, that Onja is having, a better, a better life now. It's like it's a transformed life. It's also for me. It's not like I have a better romantic relationship than before. It's a romantic relationship that I don't even compare to other ones. They don't. For me, the past is just like, it happened. I cannot say it didn't happen, but in my mind, nothing is hooked on those things, or on those past relationships. That's how I see transformation. It's just past is in the past. What would I need to carry it with me? Just like, what the heck, So yeah, I think just great shares, great. If somebody wanted to discover what responsibility is, or see it newly, or perceive it newly, I can say we nailed it. I don't know what people are saying who watch us. What do you guys think? You can share with us. Of course, we want to know. Even though if you got something new for yourself, or And I would also imply, look, I was thinking for this stream, right? Also, maybe we need something, right? So with the community, I see it as a family. So like we're all brothers and sisters here. It's just like, not even friends, not even colleagues. It's like, brothers and sisters. It's just like, for me, it's like that. So I can say Mr. JP family, because Mr. JP is the thing. So yeah, just like, the red and black corner is just like start to melting together, right? So, and I was thinking about, what would be the line out that we can put it out, like, what this community provides. And then I was thinking about, for me, it was like growing together. I don't know what you guys think, you three, or chat, what do you think? Just like, would you stand up and be part of a community who is standing up, that we all grow inside of it? I think it's I really connect with it, and I'm going with it. So if you guys join in, the more the merrier, the more the numbers, the easier it's to do it. So yeah.
Yes, I like it. So I'm on the board.
Hey, cool. All right, we have Emma. The brown corner is with us. What about the red and black corner? Are they with us?
We are flexing again all the time.
Flexing. Yeah, well, but if you are proud of yourself, you gotta do it. Just like,
You gotta
you gotta flex, or you gotta say it, or you gotta share it, right? Just like, if you won't, who else will, right? If you won't flex your muscles, who else will flex your muscles?
Lead by example.
Exactly. So, Onja is just like, now it's your time to flex. You have a sweater, so no, we said don't flex, don't do it, don't do it. Or if you have a shirt underneath, so it's okay.
I do, but the network will fail. So
All right, yeah, right. We got it. The band wide cannot get this many data through, right? All right, cool, guys. The Night Ignition podcast topic responsibility stops here. We need that clipboard, right?